welcome back to another live session and another episode of the Magnetic Financial News Show. And today we're going to be inviting our guest, someone that has actually went from scratch to actually crushing it and helping other people to crush it to their online business. And today she's going to come to share with you guys how she was able to go from complete beginner from scratch into starting an affiliate business, into going to pushing and into actually hitting the 100K milestone, helping our students also to crush that milestone with their affiliate business. And today we're going to take you to no other person than UZMA RAHEEL, where she is going to come share with us exactly her secret and how she was actually able to build a magnetic personal brand on the internet, starting as a complete beginner, working in a full-time retail store in the net type job, moving from that environment, changing her mindset into starting a profitable online business. And she's going to show up right now and come show us exactly what our secret is and how we too can be able to leverage from these information to actually start getting more lead, getting more seeds, and actually fixing our mindset so that we can actually be on the path to success too, just like that. All right, in round of applause, in a cheerful manner, I want you guys to turn up the volume, turn up the love, turn up the heart. And if you're live, be sure to drop a like. If you're the replay, be sure to drop a replay. As I welcome to the stage UZMA RAHEEL. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me here.
Thanks for accepting the invite. I appreciate it. I'm gonna. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I'm hearing you.
All right. So I'm going to ask you a few questions. And first of all, I want to say thanks again for showing up for accepting the invitation. I really appreciate. And thanks for coming to share your knowledge with us. And we are here and ready to grab as many value as we can from this show. Once again,
It
thanks
is
for
all
showing up.
mine. Thank you so much.
All right. So we would love to know a little bit about your backstory, introduction about where you're coming from, and how the journey has been so far from you. If you'd be able to share that with us.
Yeah. So, I actually belong to Pakistan, right? And I came to US in 2018. And like many others, I wanted to continue my studies. But what exactly happened was, I tried to go to college, and I ended up finding out that it's going to cost me a lot of money, and I will have to, go and get student loan. And that is what not something I wanted. So what I found at that time was a retail store job. Like that was just convenient for me to get it. So I got that job and I started working. Um, I think it's been like 2 or 3 months into the job that I found out that I was expecting. And but I, of course, I have to keep continuing the job because of course we gotta pay the bills, mortgage, and all that stuff. So I kept doing the job, and then I ended up losing that child because of the you know the pressure, the work, because it was kind of a job where I have to somehow lift the objects, and my pregnancy was high. So at that point, I kind of get that sudden thing in my mind that job is not for me because it made me lose my child. I was in that emotional trauma, and it took me almost a year to come out of that trauma. And since I'm diabetic, so it took me another whole year to get the good news again. And even at that time, I didn't want to do the job because of what happened earlier. And of course, I had so much, what is in my mind of what's going to happen, those fears and what happened earlier. But again, the situations were not in my favor. So I kept continuing the job. And what exactly happened was um, throughout that period of time, it was extremely difficult. And being pregnant, being diabetic, and keep standing for hours, especially how in retail stores we have to keep standing, we cannot just sit. So it was my situation. But anyways, that time somehow passed through, and then finally became a mother in 2022. And after that, what happened was like my maternity leave got over. Now was the biggest situation when I was like, okay, I somehow kept working while I was pregnant, but who's going to have me watch this baby and go to work? And the only option I could find at that time was daycare because I didn't have enough family. Just my sister-in-law is here, and my husband, and my father-in-law. That's all. And everyone is kind of course, busy in their own lives. So initially, I had to send him to daycare, but after a few months, he started getting very sick. He got chickenpox, then infection on his head. So every single time I was seeing him getting sick, I was asking myself, hey, Yusma, what's going on? He already lost a child, and the other one is going to take care, getting sick all the time. That mom inside me was kind of asking me questions like, you shouldn't be doing it. So around, I would say around July or August in 2021, I started looking for different ways I can stay home. Uh, First, I tried to find some, on TikTok, they all keep on making those videos of side hustles. We might be familiar with all those videos. So I tried to, do something online. Like I tried to do job as a transcriptionist. Then I tried to sell some products online, like on Mercury, on eBay, on Amazon. And then finally, I stepped into affiliate marketing. Like I got to know that there's something called affiliate marketing. I wasn't aware of that before. Um, so yeah, that's how I started, and it was somewhere in October 2021 when I invested in a high ticket, in a low ticket, and then in a month into that, I invested in a high ticket because I was in a phase where it's either go all in or just keep doing the job or keep living the life where I didn't have any family time. I was working 5 days in a week. Um, my husband and I were not home at the same time. Like either he was working or I was working. That was the situation. So yeah, that's how I get started, and it's little over 1 year now, and I'm very happy. I've already quit my job, and yeah, that was kind of it how I get started.
That was also a very inspiring story. And I want to say sorry for your loss. And also, I admire the courage and the determination to be able to also put yourself out there and keep trying, even when things didn't go as well as you thought at first. I want to say congratulations and thanks for staying true because right now we get to experience your journey and we get to be motivated from you also. All right, thanks for answering that. I appreciate
You're welcome.
it. Okay. So, when you were starting out with your journey with your affiliate business, when you get to affiliate marketing, what were the initial struggle and the challenges you were facing starting out from scratch?
Yeah. Initially, I would say number one thing that I wasn't really sure about or I had challenges was um, to actually try to start the conversations with people. Um, I was into sales. I won't say that I was. It was something very new to me. I had been working in the retail store, like I mentioned. I was in customer service, um, and I was talking to clients, and everything was good in that case. And back in my country, Pakistan, I used to sell things online, but the way to have a conversation with someone on the messages was not something that I had done before. I had do live selling, um, like of course in the store when you're talking to your client, that person standing right in front of you. But the way to convey, to change that conversation into message was one of the challenges that I faced initially. I think that many people now, even they came and asked me a question, how to start the conversation, what questions to ask, how to write the message, like how to craft it. So that was one of the things that I faced initially. Number two, I would say was marketing because I was not very aware of the marketing things, like what exactly goes inside marketing. People normally feel like, okay, they're just going to, let's say, because I started with TikTok first, and I feel like most of the people have this thing in their mind that they're just going to go on TikTok and, of course, whatever videos are going viral in their particular niche, they're gonna be kind of modeling it and gonna make it fame. And that's what I exactly did when I was starting out. Until I would say into a few weeks, I started feeling like why we are just trying to create what others are making, and instead we can just start educating our audience about what is actually affiliate marketing. And then I kind of made that shift. And although I had that experience of sales, I didn't have much, I would say, issues with the sales, but getting people interested in my offer was my challenge. Because of course, let's say I'm working in retail store, there's a client coming in and they want to buy something else, they want to order something else, but I didn't do the marketing part, so I didn't have any that kind of that experience. So with the time, of course, I got better with writing content and the kind of stories we create to attract the audience. So for me, marketing and then making that change to write the messages was the two challenges that I faced.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. And that is something very, very common in the industry. But starting out from scratch, it's very, very like you have to get into the mindset of how can I be able to send the message to the person, what is the response, and all of those. I understand that it is. And also, thanks for the tips on TikTok because a lot of people think if you post a video, promote your $7 offer on TikTok, overnight you can get a lot of lead and all of this stuff. And it doesn't work that way. You just have to educate your people and share them the main thing that is behind your offer, what you're doing. And thanks for sharing that. I appreciate it. All right. So the next question is when it comes to online marketing, do you think mindset is important to getting results? And if you think mindset is important, what is one tip you can be able to give to beginners out there starting out? What is that one mindset tip that you think every beginner should cultivate to have success with this?
Sorry, that part was missed. What is important?
All right. I said uh, on the online journey, do you think mindset is important to having success on the internet with affiliate marketing? Mindset.
Mhm.
So, if mindset is important, what is one tip that you can be able to share with the viewers at home, beginners are starting out that can actually help them to get success on the long run? Do you think mindset is important to actually finding success on the affiliate marketing and internet marketing space? And if so, what exactly is one mindset tip that you can be able to render to our viewers at home that can actually help them to find success on this on the long run?
So here's my thing. I think that most of the people, what they try to feel is like when they're starting out affiliate marketing or any online business, they have this thing in their mind that first that maybe every single person out there is going to listen to their message. They're going to listen. They're going to feel like maybe this. If we just go online, we start talking about this is the product we are selling, let's say, and this is the kind of commission this product is giving, or whatever the features of that product are. They start feeling like every single person out there is going to be listened to them, right? So I think when I started out. I would say the thing, I think I was kind of very clear, very initially. Luckily, I was very clear on that. Um, the person who's going to buy from you, or the person who's going to feel connected with you, number one, would be the one who feels resonance and relatedness with whatever situations you are in, and you have somehow came across that, and they feel like you are the person who's a little bit ahead of them, and you know something that that person doesn't know, right? Initially, my message, my whole, if I go back on my TikTok, everything was related to just mothers because my story as a mother was kind of, I would say, made me jump into affiliate marketing. So everything I was making, every message I was creating over there, all my stories was about if you are a mother and these are your situations and you are trying to get out of that, then this is for you, right? Then I would say with the time it changed. Initially it was working for me, but it keeps on changing. You cannot have the same kind of what is it, same kind of offer, same kind of message for the entire of your journey, or let's say a whole year or something. Um, After hitting a certain level, I think that was at 15K or something, I started realizing that now at this point I want to scale up. Now at this point, I have the knowledge, I have the information, I have um, that that skill set that I should be going for those people who already are in affiliate marketing, let's say, and they're looking to learn those skills, right? And I changed my whole message, I did change my kind of whole audience, and I started putting my voice, my publications out there for affiliate marketers, right? And yeah, another 6 months into that, being an affiliate marketing coach, I made another shift. So I would say like it is important, definitely it's important, but it's not something you are going to stick with throughout your journey. It can change with time, depends who you are going to serve.
That's true. Because
Yeah,
as we keep going, we keep evolving and can't be able to keep working the same message and every now and then. That's true.
exactly.
So meaning we have to like target, narrow down and define our audience from the scratch, like the people we're trying to serve so that we can best attract them to our system. Then as we keep going, we keep making tweaks to that messages and targeting more persons that align with our current state. Do I get right?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for sharing that. That was pretty valuable and very, very true. Like over the years, I've changed my message to so many copy and so many structures as I keep going, keep
Mhm.
changing that. And that's very
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
true. Okay. So this is actually a funny question. So there is this saying that organic marketing is dead. So
Mm.
what is your opinion to that, and what do you have to say about that?
Okay. Actually, I would say literally in the evening, I was having this talk with my husband where I was telling him that recently I found out that I am having so much in my plate, and I've been doing each and everything from content creation to posting to having the conversations to booking the calls to serving my clients, each and everything that goes is just me by myself. And I was telling him that I feel like now I need someone else that can help me. And he said, "What exactly you need help with?" I said, "Well, there are certain partners. I would say it's marketing, then it's conversations, and of course lead generation, and then of selling, and then serving. There's so many compartments." And he said, "Okay, where exactly you are looking for my help?" I said, "Can you help me in marketing? If I tell you how I do it, maybe you can start learning slowly." And he said, "What are those things that keep coming on, like small ads on Facebook? Can't you just do that?" And I said, "No, because I'm organic marketing coach, right? And I'm teaching organic marketing, and that's what I'm doing." So I would say it's just the way we look at things. For me, if I'm starting out and I have not really made any kind of results for myself, I cannot just go and start making um, ads and say that um, this is what I can help you with. Because no one really is going to trust me because I haven't achieved that for me. So especially when you're starting it out, um, doing it organically, doing it in a way where you are showing up and you still have, I would say, still have the time to polish your skills. Because let's say the kind of content I'm making right now, that's not the kind of content I was making a year ago. The kind of stories I post now, that was not the kind of stories I was posting a year ago. If I would have just, went with the ads, um, I would never have learned those skills. Now I know that only these skills can even help me achieve the goal, or I can make create the mini courses, or I can sell it, at a low ticket. Like recently, I did a 5 day challenge. It was all about sales, right? And I was selling that course. Like I think we made over almost 80 sales just in the last month. It was like like a low ticket, almost $47. So organic marketing is not dead. It's just um, people do not feel motivated enough, I guess,
Yeah,
to
the
come
work.
and shop every single day. They feel it's boring.
Yeah,
They feel making content is boring. They feel posting stories is boring. Maybe they just try to get consistent for like a week or so, and then they feel like, oh, this is the same thing I'm doing
too
over and over
much.
again.
No. Yeah, that's true.
Um, there's one more thing that's coming in my mind. I keep saying this thing as I just talking to my husband even in the evening. I said it's literally I feel like people learn 4 or 5 things and they do it for like maybe a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then they say, "What's new? What are we going to learn more?" And my thing is, okay, you learn 5 things. There's nothing new under the roof. Keep doing it. Keep getting better in it, right? You're going to
Yeah,
post
that's
content, you're going to generate leads, you're going to have start conversations, you're going to start booking the calls, you're going to close the sales. That's the 4 simple steps you're going to be doing. There's nothing new. That's it.
that's true.
Yeah.
There really is nothing new under the sky. It's just the way people go about it and the message people have about it. It's
Yeah.
mostly that instant gratification. Like we are in the era of instant gratification, and people want to get the result as fast as they can. And anything that comes with work, it's like, no, please take it away from me. All of this stuff. So I get that. So that's
And
very
I
true.
would always say that when it comes to organic marketing, I think the numbers that normally I see is that there will be only 3% people who are ready to buy from you today. The remaining 97% are going to get nurtured from your content. But we are just not being patient enough to nurture them. If you have the patience, I think I read it somewhere else that it's good to get rich slower than never to get rich ever.
Yeah,
So,
I like that. Yeah, that's true.
like,
Yeah. That's very true. It's much better for you to work on because as you keep going, you keep learning those skills here to keep mastering them. Like it's better to be a short-term specialist and a long-term generalist, but you have to like keep on learning and make sure that you know those skills because they are the one that are going to lead to wherever success is going to be tomorrow. As you said, the content keep improving the more you keep creating, and the more you keep creating, the more you keep understanding how everything works, and it becomes much easier every day. That was a very wonderful tip. Thanks for sharing. All right. So the next question is what if you should give one tip to beginners starting out right now on how they can be able to make their very first 1K on the internet? What is strategy we need to recommend to them and how can they be able to get that very fast? Or normal?
That's actually a very good question because I am feeling that mostly when a newbie starting out, the first thing that's in their mind is when I'm going to get paid. And
Yeah.
I believe that is the last stage, right? It's like you are trying to leave all the steps in between and you're trying to jump up and reach the last step, right? So if they're starting it out, the first thing is they need to know, do they really know what they're talking about? Do they have that knowledge, that information that if 10 people are standing in front of them and asking them questions, like bombarding questions, and do they know the answers of that questions? Do they know how to start a conversation with someone else? Do they know what exactly goes in writing a content? So they do not really pay attention to number one, working on their skill set. They don't pay attention to number two, educating their audience. They try to sell. Even if you look at ads, because sometimes I do that intentionally, I would be looking at an ad like how they have actually created it. They created it in the form of a story. Like it's just not the selling. They will explain a situation. Like let's say it's a bad situation. If we talk about let's say weight loss, they will talk about maybe you are overweight, you're having health issues, maybe you are having difficulty in breathing, maybe you have um, maybe they will just try to pick some pain points, and then they will give us a like future picture of what can be done better. Just imagine like if you are in a healthy if you have good health or you're in a good shape, and then they will try to tell us this is the product that can help you, and then they kind of give the offer, do you want it? So it's like a whole process. But what movies normally make the mistake is they try to just sell the product without even knowing, do they even know how to craft the message? Because even we when I walk you through this ad, there is a way. Like it started from somewhere else and it's ending on somewhere else. They don't really try to build any connections. Marketing, going on social media, I think it's all about what relations or what connections you are building. And it took me time to know and to figure it out that there's literally nothing in this world that can be done without talking to people. And I feel somehow newbies also feel awkward. They feel like, how am I going to talk to a new person? How am I going to talk to a stranger? Right? Um, I think that was somehow inside me because when I was starting out, I used to feel awkward going on calls. And I used to feel like, okay, I cannot talk to someone else on the call. How will I say those stuff? But um, let's say if someone wants to be an actor, they need to talk. They need to be around people. If someone wants to be, let's say, a doctor, they will still be sitting in a big audience. Like first they're gonna be students, then they're gonna be practicing. They're gonna be doing all those whatever their practices are in the hospital. Let's say they want to be politician. Like whatever is it, human connection is going to be there. So that's the number two thing. Focus on building those strong connections and try to improve yourself as a person first, then before you even try to sell something. Number three, I think um, number three, I would say stop selling first and start educating your audience. Um, tell them something about yourself. Tell them about why you started. Tell your reasons so that they can feel connected. Number two, whatever end result, not about the product, but the end result the product can help someone to achieve. Talk about that. Educate your audience. If they feel like what you're saying is making sense to them, then they will be reaching out to you automatically, right?
Yeah,
Um,
that makes
there's
sense.
one more thing that's coming in my mind. If I walk you through the steps, let's say if a newbie is literally coming to me and they will say what exactly I can do, I would say number one, break down the things and make them super simplified. what exactly do you need to know? This is normally what I tell my students. First, be very clear who are you going to serve, right? When you have figured it out what is your audience and who you are going to serve, then see what is the first skill you need. And I would say the first skill you need is marketing and getting people interested in your offer, because selling and everything comes later. So try to start posting, and posting comes in different points. Like not only just posting, but start marketing in a way. Like on Facebook, if I just talk about Facebook, we have like multiple things. Let's say we normally I say there are three things that go on your profile, right? It's stories, it's contents and your live sessions, and then there are three other things which are comments, um, your group marketing, and the reels, right? So focus on this. I don't know make reels, but I do the other part. So focus on these six things only, and start having people interested in your offer, right? When you have learned those skills and people are started getting, let's say, interested, they are reaching out to you and they're asking you questions, then is your stuff is whatever you have learned, start teaching them without the fear of that someone needs to pay me. That is also one of the things. People feel like I'm not going to tell someone for free. I feel like the more you tell them for free, the more they feel like you know your stuff, and the more they get interested and they come back to you. And it has happened to me multiple times. I do not really feel scared giving someone the quote if I feel like they're stuck at somewhere else. So once you get some skill, start educating your audience. Give free value, make media files, make documents, and start getting testimonials on that. I would say if I'm going on Amazon, I'm not gonna buy anything without checking the reviews.
Yeah,
It's
that's
simple.
true.
But
Yes.
even if I
Like,
feel like the reviews are less than 4.5, okay, I'm done. I'm not gonna even buy that stuff, right?
yeah.
Even sometimes it happens, you see like 15 reviews, and even two people are saying something really bad. You start getting suspicious. Oh, what's going on over here, right? So
Yes,
you
that's
need,
true.
when someone is buying from you, they also need to know does your stuff work. So go out, start helping people for free, and have a whole stack of testimonials, right? That's your reviews. Don't just expect people to spend money and buy from you when they're not sure if that's gonna work for them. And when you have that bunch of testimonial, of course, go and leverage it. Share on your stories, share on your profile, share whatever platform you're using. And then will be the time people will start trusting you, because they know, like, and trust. They will start trusting you because they know that other people are saying good stuff about you. And then you can start thinking about, okay, now I'm gonna make a sale. If you skip all this part, that never gonna happen.
Yeah, that was a very detailed and well explained system, and very true. First, you build the relationship, then you nurture the relationship, then from the relationship you build, you keep making more sales every now and then. Like you build the pipeline because you're having these conversations, you're helping people solve their problem, and in return, they put you at a high esteem because they feel you are their personal go-to expert on the situation. And very, very well explained. Thanks for sharing that. And definitely for anyone watching it out there, this is how it's actually done. Build a relationship. It's not about selling. The selling is the end point. So if you start at the end, you're going to flop over the system and over the journey. So you want to keep it simple. Make sure that it's on point and you're building this relationship with the people you're connecting with, because this is how the sale is being done. And Osman, thanks very much for sharing that. I appreciate it. And that was very, very helpful and informative also. Thanks.
Thank you so
All right.
much for having me.
Okay. So there's this also questions that comes to a lot of beginners. Like, what's one tip that you can give to beginners starting out right now on how they can be able to overcome the fear of selling? Because a lot of people have this fear that I can't be able to push someone on offer, or selling is evil, and if I sell stuff, I'm ripping someone off, and
Yeah.
all of those stuff. So what is the tip or advice can you to give to get people to remove
Mm.
that from their head?
Number one, I would say is when I started out, because apparently many people feel like my journey has been a really quick one. And they feel like because in the first month when I was starting out, I think the first month I was able to make 17 sales, which normally was low ticket. Like I would say out of 17, roughly 40, 50 was $7 sales. One was high ticket, and then there were few mid tickets. But first of all, they need to understand and know that how they are looking at the sales. That is the number one thing. We always have this mindset. I gave this example recently in the Piper studies that When we are a kid, normally when someone asks us what we want to be, I think the most common answers a child give is doctor, teacher, maybe pilot,
Yeah, the cool
right?
stuff.
Like the cool stuff, the people who look good, right?
Yeah,
And no one is actually going to say, I want to be a salesperson.
true.
No one will say that. Now, why? Because we have created this mindset that salesperson is a person who is going to forcefully give us something we don't want. So
Yes.
when you change this whole definition that you are not selling your product to someone who don't want it, you feel okay and you feel okay, that makes sense. Now just imagine everything around me, even the clothes I'm wearing, the makeup I have put on, my mic, my keyboard, every single thing I purchased it. My thing is, am I not feeling thankful for it? Do I feel bad that I purchased it? My thing will be no. Of course, I feel good. Makeup is making me feel good. I feel like I'm looking beautiful, right? If I'm wearing these clothes, it's kind of protecting me from environment. It's
Yeah.
covering my body. All these things around me, computer and laptop, it's connecting me to my audience. It's helping me around in running my business. And even I would try to get the best I can. So it means I purchase these things. It has made my life easy, and it means that I wanted to buy them. That's why I purchased.
Yeah.
When you have a product or whatever service you have, if you are only giving that offer to those people who actually want it, you won't feel bad ever. Normally, what happens is beginners, in order to rush to get the sales, they just try to sell it to everyone else. They try to feel like if someone is just a little bit interested or just asking us one simple question, they just try to make a sale, right? Without figuring it out if that person actually is looking for this thing, if that person is really going to get help with whatever thing we have. So if they make up their mind that if someone is reaching out to me, ask questions first. Like I sometimes, like many times now, I'm getting these people where they're like, "Can I book a call with you?" And my thinking, "Yeah, sure, we can book a call with you. Like we can book a call together, but can I ask you a few questions before that?" And after getting the permission, I started asking what exactly they are looking for. Am I even the person who's going to help them? Let's say if that's a person um, who, let's say, want to learn about Facebook ads. I don't know anything about Facebook ads. I'm not the person you should be booking call with. So respect your time and respect my time. So when you know that you are not selling anything to someone who doesn't need, your whole definition, your whole way you look at things change. Number one.
Yeah. Changes a lot.
Number two, um, this is how I would say selling always make your life easy. That's if my feet are getting cold right now, literally my feet are getting cold.
Yeah.
If I go and buy socks, that's gonna make my life easy. That's gonna make me feel good. So
True.
if making us buying something and that is going to making me feel better, and that only happens for process of sales, it is a good thing,
True.
right?
That's very
So yeah, the whole it's just in our mind. Like I said, from the childhood we have created that image in our mind. So once that image is changed, we give a new definition to selling. We start actually loving it. We don't feel bad about it.
Yeah, it's been programmed with so many people, like the from the movies, the people around them, and all of those stuff. And definitely, you explained very well because selling is helping and you're ranging solution. Without selling, the world won't be where it is right now. So
Yep.
what is evolving because people are sharing ideas, selling what they know to the next person, and partnering with each other because that's what selling is, helping the next person. If you don't sell, you don't help the next person, and if you don't help the next person, what are you doing? You're just even making life much harder for the person. And that was a very, very great explanation, also, definitely. And
Mhm.
also, some persons, the questions, when you talk about questions, that was very, very good because the more you ask questions, the more you can know if it's actually right for the person. If it's not, you can ignore because not everybody up to be dying from you, and not everybody your product was created for. So that's also something to keep in mind. And thanks for sharing. I appreciate it. So the next question is, what is the easiest sale you've ever made on the internet in your journey so far? Like, what was the easiest sale ever that you've made so far on your journey?
What was the easiest part?
The easiest sale on your journey so far, like the easiest sale you've made so far on your journey.
I didn't get the question. Sorry.
Okay. I said, what is the easiest, easy, what is the easiest sale you've made so far on your journey on the
Easiest
internet
again?
marketing? Yeah, yeah, the easiest sale.
Um, this is funny. Um, Actually, I was invited to an interview. I would say almost 3 months back, and I knew this girl from almost 1 year. I would like, she's some, I think she's around like 20 years old now, or 2022, and she kind of was making a lot of TikTok videos. And there's sometimes it happens, you open TikTok and there's just one person all the time that's videos just pop and you feel like what's going on with this person, like why that person is always on my feed. So she was that kind of person, and she kind of reached out to me 3 months back, and she said that, hey Isma, I've been watching you from past 1 year, but we have never actually talked to each other. Actually, I'm looking forward to watch you on my show. I was like, oh, you have an interview show and all? She's like, yeah, I'm just starting out. I just few episodes. I'm like, okay, cool. So we came to, of course, she's living in entirely different time zone. She's in Australia and I'm in US. So we booked the time, and I went on interview. And after the interview, she's like, hey, can I hold you for like 2 more minutes? I'm like, yeah, sure. And she said, can I can I ask you what your offer, because I'm interested. That's funny because you don't even know what's my offer, and you was already saying you're interested. What you're looking for? Because for me, she was doing very well. Like what you took, she was doing very well. And she said, "Oh, because I feel like I'm making sales now, but um, I feel like I'm not being very impactful. I want to be impactful." And I start processing the information. I said, "Oh, okay. If you're making sales, so you don't really need a business coach, because that's what business coaches are for. You want to be influential, so you need a life coach, I would say." She said, "But I think like people are kind of people love you a lot, and I see you get amazing testimonials, and I don't know how you do that. So can you just help me with that?" I said, "Okay, a plus, but I don't really have an offer for that." So she was like, "Yeah, but I know you can help me with that." And it's like it was opposite was happening. She was trying to just come here, and I was kind of figuring it out. Okay, what do you exactly want? And I asked her a few more questions and I figured it out. I said, okay, so basically all you want is to build that authority, to be more impactful, to start position yourself as a coach. And she was like, yeah, that's what I want. And the funny thing is, there was no fun in my mind. I said, okay, how about you give me some time and let me just think about it. And she was like, yeah, sure, take your time. And I'm like, give me some time. She's like, no, you can think now. Okay. So I was like, okay. So I started like thinking in my mind and like processing everything. And then I said, you know what? You are asking me something that I have not really done for anyone so far. And like you said, I know I can do it. But there's an invitation that I'm gonna give you. And that was the first ever time I gave that offer to anyone else. And she said, yeah, sure. I said, how about you become my one-on-one client, because you're doing amazing already. And the changes that you want, I really need to be very, working very closely with you. And she was like, okay, and how much is going to cost me? And I didn't have any price in my mind. And I don't know why, out of nowhere, like literally out of nowhere, I said it's $9,000. And I still laugh. I still laugh at this thing. And she's like, okay, and how I'm going to pay? And I'm like, okay, I was expecting an objection here. There was no objection.
No objection, just straight to the point. That was
I,
amazing.
I gave you a price that I never charged before, and you just said, I'm going to pay. I said, it's going to be, you can pay 3 installments. I gave an installment, and she was like, yeah, sure, I'm in. And I sometimes still laugh. I said, why you didn't give me an invitation? Why you just stayed? And she's like, no, I wanted it so bad. So I was like, whatever the price is, I don't care. I'm in. So yeah, I would say
Yeah.
that was the most easiest, and I don't even know how that happened. I still say this is funny for me.
She saw the value. You've been giving value, as you said earlier. You have built the relationship, and now she feel
Yeah,
like it's very, very okay for she to pay that amount. And that
yeah.
was awesome. It must
I'm
have been
okay
really cool.
that like I just said, the better you already have the know like and trust factor, the more easier it gets to make a sale. So since we were watching each other from 1 year, I think that's why she didn't have any objection at all, and
Yeah,
she was
that's
just
true.
ready.
That's true. You've done the work, and that was the evidence of the work.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. So, uh, this question. So, if let's say if you want to start again from scratch, let's say something happened and you're looking to start again from ground zero and from scratch, what
Mhm.
exactly are some of the steps? What is the very first step you're going to take to get back to where you currently are right now in the journey? If you were to start from scratch.
Oh, that's a good one. The first thing that I would be doing if I'm starting out from scratch is I can actually make a whole plan on that. That sounds like a whole 30 days of plan. The number one thing that I would be doing is first pick one platform only. I see many people do this mistake, and somehow I have done the same. When we try to, when we feel like let me jump on multiple platforms and let me try to get leads from everywhere else, right? That is a mistake. First, identify what kind of person you are. If you are a person who's good in writing, go with, let's say, Facebook. If you're a person who is more good with videos, who likes making short form videos more, yeah, go with TikTok or Instagram. But for me, I feel like I'm more of a Facebook person. So then identify very quickly who are the people that you feel most connected with and who are the people that will see you in authority, right? Now, let's say, for me, when I was starting out, my audience was mothers. Why? Because my reason of starting on my journey was a mother who was in pain, a mother who lost her child, and a mother who is doing it for staying so that she can stay home with her son. So identify who are those people, and then just ask yourself where am I going to find those people. Um, if these women are working women, there are so many Facebook groups. I would say who already have those women. They are active in those groups. So join few of those groups. I would say a lot, maybe three to four, not more than that, but a quality groups. And then just be an active part of those groups initially. Don't try to make a sale or try to sell or give offers in the group. But if someone is asking a question, just be a person who is adding value to someone's life. If let's say you're starting out as an affiliate marketer, you can join some other groups in affiliate marketing. Like there are so many groups for um, the paid groups, but you can just get into the group by paying by buying a low ticket product, let's say. And those groups have every kind of audience. They have mothers, they have parents, they have 9 to 5 workers, they have international students, all of that. And then when you're inside that group, like I said, be an active member. Try to show up every single day. Try to find, that they have this thing in the group that people can ask questions, right? Whenever they're stuck at somewhere else. Be a person who's going and responding back to their questions, their concerns. Then when I feel like this has happened to me multiple times where I show up in a group multiple times adding value to my comments, creating threads, and people were actually later on tagging me. Let's say I used to talk about funnels because initially I worked a lot on funnels that I later on figured out it's not even required. But people started telling me that, oh, okay, you need help with funnel building or you need help with setting up your tutor challenge. She's going to help you, right? So that being a person who is providing value adding member, the third thing would be show up on your profile. Like I mentioned, there are three things that you are doing out for your profile. So make your comments and make your what it says, make your comments and group marketing a source of getting more eyes on you. I still do the same. When I was starting out, or now whatever stage I am at, like after hitting six figure, I think the most of the audience that I'm attracting from different groups and different profiles is just because the way I show up on comments, right? And when you get more eyes on you, those people are going to hit your name and see who's she. Sometimes they might just open your profile by getting irritated, I would say. When you are seeing someone else a lot, you'll be like, who's she? Like literally everywhere I'm going, she's there. Let me just take a look. And when someone is jumping on your profile, your job is to have a content out there and stories out there that
Yeah.
attracts them, that make them stick there. They'll be like, okay, oh, that wasn't that bad. She's doing something great. And from there, when you are nurturing them, when you are building that connection with those people, maybe you are going to send them friend requests, so they're sending you friend requests, doesn't matter. But when they are reaching out to you, never ever look at a person as a source of making a sale. Like, no way. When I'm starting out a chat with someone else, I give them enough room to share where did they find me, how did they get to know about me, let's say, and then try to figure out if that's even a lead or that's just a connection. There's a difference in that, right? A lead is someone who's interested already. They will start asking you like, hey, I want to know about your coaching program, or hey, I saw you there, just want to know more about it. That's like, I would say, a lead. But there's some people who send you a friend request because they might like your stuff, but they're not talking about joining you. That's like called a connection, right? So
Yeah.
I would say if that's a lead, the way it should be, of course, ask them more questions, see if you guys are the right fit for each other, and then you go from there. But if that person is not saying any of that stuff, then the thing is just build a healthy relation with that person. Because I have even felt like somehow, sometimes down the road, let's say we both are starting at the same time, but down the road in 6 months, we might meet each, like maybe you need me or maybe I need you. Or maybe I decided to go as a funnel builder or you decided to go as a coach. Maybe I can give you my offer sometime. Let's say you're doing 5 days that I can build your funnel. So if you have that connection, if you still show up in front of that person, you will be on top of their mind. So never estimate the power of publishing, but of course publishing in the right way, so that you stay on top of your audience. And even if you think about someone else, the first or second name that comes in your mind is you.
So that was actually very, very good and very decent explanation. You literally just give us like 1,000 K plus of courses information right here. And if you're watching this live, you have to go implement because she just gave you the full cow, not even the a little bit of it. She gave you the full lot of it. And to recap what you just said, you said the first is you know that you need to decide who you want to serve. Then you want to go to get those persons already hanging out, which are the Facebook community, to start serving them and asking questions. Then the third thing is you want to make sure your profile is optimized for them so that when they come, you can keep them in touch with your messages, get them to see more about you, and you want them to stick with you so that they can start being nurtured into your offer and what that is. And when these people reach out to you on Messenger, it might be for two cases, maybe the connection, or they're interested in your offer. So you want to be present and you want to answer that question to confuse what that might be. Do I got you right? Do I got you right?
That's a good one.
Okay. So that was it, and that was a solid point. And definitely, if you're watching from home, you definitely want to implement this and test it out on your business and see how that goes. Once again, thanks for sharing. I really appreciate that.
Thank you so much for having me. It was amazing.
He said,
Thank you so much for having me. It was amazing to meet you.
the pleasure is all mine. So, uh, right now, when you were working in a retail job as a food, when you're working full time in your retail store, what were some of the productivity tips you were working with to keep you on track? Like I know it might be easy trying to juggle through your work and also online space because the internet marketing space takes a lot of your time every now and then. So how were you able to maintain the balance between your 9 to 5 job and your affiliate business? What are some productivity tips you can share for us?
Yeah. I think I would say when I was starting out, this is what I did. Uh, First, I was doing my job was not really a 9 to 5, it was kind of 11 till 8 p.m. And there was like 1 hour where we used to get break. So it was like almost 9 hours that I was spending outside the house, and then let's say another 30 minutes of commute, like going and coming back to work. So it was like almost 10 hours. So when I was starting out, I made up this mind that I'm not gonna say I do not have time, because if I start saying I do not have time, I will never be able to find it. And one of the things that I think I have learned very initially is um, our mind know the answers. It's just that we don't ask it. If you ask
That's
your mind, how can I do it? Can I get time? Let me take a look at that. Your mind will start showing you little dots and little gaps when you are literally doing nothing, or you are just maybe spending time chit chatting with someone else that not even required or needed, or maybe you're just on Netflix, maybe you are just scrolling TikTok, absolutely doing nothing. Um, so what I did, I used to get 2 days off, right, initially. So I tried to start using them. Um, I was creating my maximum content in those 2 days. When my son used to sleep and when my husband used to be at home in the nights, I was like, okay, just give me like 2, 3 hours. I need literally to sit in silence somewhere else, and all I'm going to do is to make content. Now, when my content is in place, what is left behind? I don't really need laptop anymore. There are many days when I'm at job, I only need to use my cell phone. Before going to work, let's say I wake up at 8 a.m., right? And um, I'm waking up at 8 a.m. and let's say I need to go to work at 11 a.m. So I'm leaving the home at let's say 10:30 or 10. So that 2 hours, of course, I'm gonna have breakfast and then I will try to the content that I'm already made. I'm just going to post. It doesn't take any long time. Just copy and just paste it, right? And if my stories are already made, let's say I was not only making a lot of stories, just like one or two, post one story and then just go to work and see if you have any messages from last night. If there's any message from last night, answer all of them, clear your inbox, go to work, and then I used to get, I think, the first break after almost 2 hours. So in 2 hours, I used to, when I'm in break room, I used to spend that time. If there's someone else I need to reply, I was just replying that person back, and then I was starting somehow like comment marketing, doing some comment, showing up on somewhere else, or maybe just in groups. Then I used to get another break in like almost 5 hours into the job, and that break was used to be like an hour. So after eating something, like of course maybe I'm gonna spend 20 to 25 minutes eating and drinking something, and then the remaining time on the phone doing the same. Um, Commenting maybe if there's any answers, if there's some new connection that I'm trying to build. If I have some, let's say I have some ideas that I can go into the groups and add some value, I will be doing that. After coming back to home, I used to just put the cell phone on the side for like 1 or 2 hours. And then I'm like, okay, because now all day long my mind was working. I didn't really take a break. So let's just have some family time now. And let's say I'm coming back at 8:30. For next 1 or 2 hours, I won't be doing anything. And then before sleeping, I will take another 1 hour. When my husband is home, he can watch the baby, and this 1 hour, I will do the same. If someone wants to jump on a call, I will try to book the call on my day off, not like anytime, just day off. If someone has questions, just answer them, and the same thing again. So I would say, even if you're doing a 9 to 5 job, there still will be a day that you have off. Maybe one day you have off, maybe 2 days you have off. Utilize those days. And if you're working with, I would say, concentration, if you know what you're going to make, it doesn't really take a lot of time to make all that content. Maybe 2 hours in a day, and will be good for the whole week.
That's that was you literally you are like a superwoman. You did a lot of job. Like these are all the terms you're adding them together. Like that is a really you're really good at productivity because a lot of people are going to see that sort of excuse and keep saying that I don't have the time, I can't be able to do this, this is not for me, or I have to do so many things, but you find a way to make it work. And from what you said earlier, it's just about asking yourself the right question. Like instead of I can't, you ask yourself, how can I be able? And your mind starts coming up with all of the creative ideas because our mind is like the most creative machine. It's even better than the most the smartest AI out there. It was created by God, and we have so many ability to do so many things. And very much that was very good. The answer you gave for so many people out there that are having that objective that I don't have the time, I can't be to do this, I have a strenuous job. You just broke that belief right now, and thanks for doing that because this is going to get people to take action and finally see that they were just making excuses. That it's not true.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's, that's something. So, um, so from what you said, that they should find an hour in the day to focus on the job, right? Like specify, like they could free out or 3 hour or 1 to 2 hours in the day where they're going to be all about their marketing and stuff. Am I correct?
But if they're starting, or let's say if they're just starting out, they don't really need, because they're not having clients to serve at that time. Or they're just trying to market and get some clients or people who are interested, or they are just trying to position themselves, right? As you grow, you get more things in your plate. So you don't really need a lot of time initially. But when it started feeling like, okay, now things are making sense for me, and I got some clients, and okay, I feel like this is working for me. At that time, I went part time at my job. I started making on the side or from affiliate marketing, right? And when I went part time, I think then another 3 months being part time almost, I was finally being able to quit the job. Like a total of I think 5 or 6 months, I was able to quit the job. It's like it depends where you're starting out, how much time are you giving in the beginning, and then slowly take the steps. I also have seen some people they say, hey, I'm starting business online, so I'm just gonna quit my job. Don't do that mistake. I would say don't do that mistake because initially you need it,
Yeah,
right? Because you don't know how long it's gonna take for you. Everyone is different.
that's
Everyone's journey is
exactly
going to be
right.
different, right? Uh, like let's say for me, because I had sales experience before, my challenge was only getting leads initially. But once I have someone who's interested, it was not really a big challenge for me to convert that person. So if you're a person who do not have any prior experience of sales, you're going to take more time, right? So have a backup in your plate first and start with the mindset that I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna make it work. And again, the people who starting, I see the people around me, and I have seen many people coming and going away because they try to make it work in 1 or 2 months, and when they don't really see monetary results, they step back. And I would say it's not about sales all the time. It's about progress. Do you feel like you are in a better place, or you are at least getting better from the day you started? Do you think you know more stuff, or you can even, let's say, even you have started showing up more? Maybe you're getting consistent more. Maybe you're getting comfortable in front of camera. That's the progress. So always measure the progress, not the sales only.
Because when you start celebrating the little wins, it's going to prepare and get you to the bigger ones. True. That's how it works. That was actually a very well put it out there. Like, look for the when you're serious about it, you're going to find a way to make it work. And once you keep taking this baby step, it's going to compound and turn into the bigger step. So just take action, look for what you want to do, fix a specific time, and start moving each and every day. As long as you're growing, you're on the right track. All right, so Usman, thanks for sharing that. And that was very, very well. Even to me personally, I did take that advice also. So, the next question is, what is the ash one factor that you can see as leads to your success so far? Like, what is the one factor the thing you know has been able to amount to your success this so far?
One factor. Okay, I would say number one, trying to learn things is the number one factor. I think I have two factors in my mind. What am I talking about? The other one. Number one is trying to learn the things, experiment it, fail in it, and learn from my own mistakes. If I have seen people who says that just give us something that works and we will just do it and it should work for us the same way it's working for you. My thing is two people are not same. No two people are same. Even our own kids are not like us, right? We do not, we have entirely different thoughts and personalities from our parents, right? We respect them, we love them, but we are two different people. So you and your client are going to be two entirely different people, right? So when you're starting out, do not feel like if this person, let's say, that's what mentor or coach, he did or she did something, and I'm going to do exactly and it's going to work for me. That's true to some extent, but there will be two things that's not going to work for you, and you are going to experiment it. So do not be afraid to experiment it. I know I have experimented where people that they gave me objections in the messenger, let's say, and I told myself that hey, ma, you have lost the tail already. Start learning now. Can you still say something and see how it goes? And I used to do that a lot of times, and many people, of those people actually converted later on. Like sometimes I used to ask them, okay, I appreciate that you shared that with me. Okay, I understand, let's say whatever objection coming in. Let's say someone is saying that I have exams coming in, I'm not gonna be doing that. I feel like okay, it's not going anywhere. Um, at that time, I used to say, okay, so what do you think I would have offered you differently, and you would have taken the opportunity? People do not even ask those questions. They say if someone is trying to boost them, they don't even try to say something that's gonna make them come back. For me, if someone is boosting me, I will try to just send a message as a human, I will first think, why is that person ghosting me? Maybe because that person is not ready to face me and tell me that, hey, Isma, I'm not interested, or hey, Isma, I don't want it. That is the only thing. Otherwise, there's no other thing, right? So how about I send a message where I say that instead of they tell me that. So I would say, hey, whatever the name is, I hope you're doing well, and I hope that I know that you are. Um, I know that you've not been getting my messages or not been replying me back. If you are not interested in the offer anymore, let me know. Um, and we will still be on good terms. It's perfectly fine, right? When I'm saying those stuff, right, that person gonna be watching my message and they're gonna be like, oh, when she's fine, why am I afraid to go your friend? And sometimes those people have even come back and say, hey, Isma, yeah, so actually this happened, that happened, that happened. So I felt like I need another 1 or 2 months to raise the funds. And then I started feeling like, what would you think about? And yeah, can you just give us 2 more months? I'm like, yeah, I'm perfect again. Not making sense you're telling me, right? So I'm okay with that. So number one factor that I did was keep experimenting. If if an idea is coming in your mind, apply it, see how it goes, and learn from your own mistake. No other teacher or coach can teach you what your own mistakes teach you. Right? So do that. Don't be afraid of that. Number one. Number two factor that helped me was I told myself that I'm not going to give up on the business. And I would call it as that's it. If I get in an argument with my mother, right? Of course, she's my mom. I love her. But let's say there's something happened that we are not coming on the same page, and we are going back and forth, back and forth. What will happen? Maybe I will go into my room, I will lock myself, or maybe I will cry all night. What will I do in the morning? I will wake up and I will still feel like, oh, I shouldn't have reacted the way I did yesterday. I shouldn't be talking back to my mom with that the way I did. So I will still be going to my mom and start talking again. Start maybe I will hug her, maybe I will say sorry. So things sometimes make do not really move forward or they start stopping. So that's the same thing that happened to your business. And I told myself it's going to happen again. It's going to be days when you feel like no lead is coming in. It's going to be days when you won't be able to make a sale. It's going to be days when someone will say something bad and you will feel low. But you go into the rooms now, cry all night, wake up in the morning and hug your business again.
Yeah, get back to it, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
do it
that's true.
again. Yeah.
That's true. And definitely, the more you experiment, the more you figure out what works for you. Because everybody's journey is exactly different. And everybody has their various parts and what might be successful for them. So definitely, experimenting is a very, very good idea to be about it. That was a very, very good answer. Thanks for sharing.
Okay.
So, on the issue of Facebook Messenger, so what are some of the tips you can give when it comes to getting boosted on Messenger? Because a lot of people complain about it that they try to connect with persons, they send a message, but they're not answering them, they're not replying. What exactly is a fix that you think can be able to solve that and resolve this case?
Yeah. Um, I would say Facebook Messenger definitely is a way we are going to connect to our audience. But I think Messenger, I have seen people who do not normally post a lot, they do not normally show up, and they feel like it's okay, just they're going to stay in, in the inbox, right? For me, it's like, how would it look like if I want to go to McDonald's, but the door is closed. There's no banners outside. There's nothing outside, and that person is sitting inside the McDonald's and trying to call customer and say, "Do you want to get a coffee?"
That'd be crazy.
Right? How about to put a banner? How about to make some noise? How about to make a store look really good? And how about people are coming to you and just want to buy the coffee? They will come to you, right? So messenger is of course a way to connect, but do not just stay in the messenger. Come out and show up yourself in front of your audience because they want to see you more. The ad we see more on internet sometimes. Sometimes I have been when I keep getting, let's say, ads or emails from people from different stores. They're selling baby clothes. Even if I feel like I don't want it, but the way they keep coming up, coming up, coming up, it made me feel like, okay, let's just go and see what are they saying, right? So if you're
Yeah.
showing up, people are going to reach out to you or at least reach your name family. And when it comes to messenger, because like I said, it comes later on. When you're inside the messenger, um, the number one tip that I'm going to give is be the real you. People feel like they need to have a script that needs to be, um, I need to say certain words. I need to
Yeah.
say certain kind of, there should be certain kind of steps I need to take. For me, it's not about the script because no situation is going to be universal, right? Every person is going to come with a different situation. Yeah, we do have, let's say, some questions like what are your goals, what monthly revenue you want to work on, etc., etc. But it's not going to be working all the time, right? Have a very simple, broad steps, but do not just make them feel like you are trying to just follow a script. Right? Because let's say there was this prospect, I would say that this person, she was interested, she reached out to me, we jumped on a call, but the call was literally more of like she wanted to know the details. It's not about the offer. So after after the call, she said, "Okay, I'm gonna be reaching out to you soon," because her mindset not was really ready to invest the amount of money. And then she was like, so I talked to her, and then she was like, "Okay, I'm gonna be." Um, she asked me the offer, but I felt like she needs a little more time. I said, okay, I'm not gonna give you the offer right now, but we will stay in touch. So I think I reached out to her today. Yeah, it was today. And she told me something that happened in the family, like a sudden death happened in the family. And now at that point, what script is going to help me? Right? If I'm saying that, hey, how's everything going on your side? Did you get a chance to watch what I gave you, etc., etc.? And she said, hey, there was an emergency. I had to go back to my country. There was some sudden death. No script is there for what if your client is saying there's a death, right? That's where you need to be a human being. I didn't talk about the offer, anything else. I started asking her if she's okay, how's the family doing, how the family who have that knows what actually happened. And then in the end, she said, I will be reaching out to you in 2 weeks. And I said, hey, that's perfectly fine. I know you're going through a hard time. Attend some prayers, attend some love, take your time, no worry, right? So the thing is, over here, you need to be more of human. I have even seen situations where people start not replying you back, and when they reply you back, all of a sudden they tell you something which is serious. That this happened to me, that happened to me, right? So be the real you, and just think that if I, let's say, if I'm going to invest $5,000 with someone else, what does, let's say, what is this feeling going? What is the feeling you feel when you feel like you're going to invest $5,000? The person in your inbox is having the same feelings.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
do not try to just go with the script. Try to understand that person and talk to that person because that person is afraid. That person is thinking that he might lose his money. That person is thinking, I don't know if it's going to work for me. That person is feeling like, what if I won't be able to do it? So talk to that person who's afraid, right? Who is worried, not just some scripts.
Yeah. Because
That's
there's
what
a
I
real
say.
human. Yeah, there's a real human on the other end of the screen, so you have to think about it. Like, sure,
Mhm.
and things happen. So it might not be the reason you're thinking. So that was actually a great point, and most definitely. So when it comes to messenger, for those people out there, if you are working with scripts, try to be natural, try to work with you and understand the next person. And yet, like a fellow human being, your work becomes a lot easier. The next person is most likely to respond to whatever you have. So thanks for sharing that. That was actually a wonderful. Right. So far, this is actually personal to you. So, do you currently have any coaching of any program where you're really sharing and helping people also to get the result like you have right now? So, if you have, please do share with us for anyone that might be interested in the audience in checking it out.
Oh, the coaching offer?
Yeah, your offer or coaching or anything you have right now going on with you that the audience out there might be interested in seeing
Yeah.
from the show. Yeah.
So I would say that even though I started my journey as an affiliate marketer, but right now I think from almost past more than 6 months, I am working as an organic marketing coach. Yeah, it's natural that I'm getting some affiliates more, but I'm open to affiliates. I'm open to people who are, let's say, affiliate marketers or people that have some kind of skill and they are looking to become a coach, or people who already are coaches and maybe they are making some money and they but they're just not being able to get consistent at whatever, let's say $4,000 or $5,000 in a month. So right now, what I'm serving more is people who are affiliates, aspiring coaches, or existing coaches who are looking to scale up their business and reach to $20,000 per month milestone. And like I always say, it's not about just the offer; it's about have I done it multiple times, right? Um, Anyone who's out there is looking for a coach, I would say it's not about that come to me, but just go with the person you truly believe in and go to the person who has done that multiple times that you want to do. I because I have also seen people who let's say have have the banners where they will say I will help you make $10,000 and when you talk to them they have not even made $10,000 themselves, right? So
True.
my thing is if you have done this multiple times, then only claim that you can help someone else, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that is actually my offer. It's for coaches and affiliates who want to scale up. And I'm normally be found for at Facebook, but maybe some on Instagram. The two pages are more findable.
So, for anyone out there that would be interested in scaling up your affiliate business and working with UZMA, I'm going to get our contact, and after the end of this interview, I'm going to drop the details below so that you can reach out and you can see if you're fit for the offer. All right. Okay. Thanks for sharing that, and thanks for giving us the opportunity to be able to witness your awesomeness and also work with you. All right. So, the last is, do you have any social media platform like YouTube channel, Instagram, or what are the handles where we can also find you on the internet?
Oh, that was a reminder for me. I have in my mind to start YouTube someday. Haven't started yet, but right now I'm more active on Facebook. Just not the same name, UZMA RAHEEL. And then I'm on Instagram with my handle UZMA RAHEEL official. That's some two places I'm at. That's it.
All right. So I'll get the group. You also have a Facebook group, right? So I
Yes.
will get the link to your group and also the link to your profile for those that want to check it out. All right.
Yeah, it's
So
called Close More Offers Community. That's with the name of my program, Close More Offers Community.
that sounds pretty cool. Who doesn't want to close more?
Yeah.
So, so far, thank you very much for showing up, Usma. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for all the valuable information and all the insights you've shared so far. It's been amazing. To round it up, I would love you to give one final tip. This might be freestyle, anything you think that the audience will need to hear right now. This might be inspiring, whatever that might be for you. Just one final tip that you can share to the viewers out there so that they can increase their own business.
Any piece of advice?
Yeah, yeah. Any piece of advice.
Um, the number one piece of advice, like I think I already kind of mentioned it, is uh, do not look at what others are doing. I have seen most of the people they stay on the phone almost all day long, but they do not do anything. So don't be that person, right? Because what happens is when we are looking at, let's say, there's a profile that says that this person made $5,000 in 90 days, and you're feeling like, oh, it's been 6 months, why I haven't made that money? You do not know the background of that person, right? What if that person has a degree in digital marketing? What if that person has been grown up in a family where everyone was in business? What if that person has was not doing a 9 to 5 job and he was all available 24 by 7 only for the business? That's why their journey is quick, but you have maybe a situation. So number one is do not just get distracted. Look for what you can do for yourself and ask yourself number one, be very clear what you want to achieve in 6 months or in 1 year. For me, let's say if I normally say this that I want to buy my house this year. I've been saying this for past um, 16, 15 months, I would say, that I want to buy my house, and I am seeing it happening hopefully before the end of this year. So if my goal is to build my house, here is what I need to work on my numbers. I need to know what exactly is my plan. If I know need to do it in 12 months, what exactly I will be doing. And just focus on your that strict plan. because watching others is only going to give you distraction and anxiety. And I have heard that multiple times. It's not going to give you results,
That's it.
right? And
Yeah, yeah.
especially, I would say there's some people sometimes that I won't say they have done something wrong to us, but it's just that we don't really get positive vibes. Like say we see them and we feel maybe lost or distracted for the next 2 hours. So my question would be why we were watching them, right? And the second thing, that second piece of advice, I think that is really important, and I see this a lot of time, is do not try to learn from everyone else. And I see
That's
this,
the recipe. Yeah,
right?
that's the recipe for disaster.
Yeah, I experimented it with me because some people normally ask me why Uzma, like how are you? How can it be like you are making some like so much quick progress? And for me, it's like I only have one person to ask questions. I ask a question, what he says, I believe on it, and I do it. That's it. And I have done it with me. I intentionally did it. I try to listen to different entrepreneurs in the same week, and believe me, it only gives me anxiety.
Yeah,
That's it,
that's very, very true. That's accurate. So,
right? We feel like,
yeah,
okay, I'm listening to Zafar, I should make a membership site. Okay, let me listen to Dan Henry. Maybe I should have my own team. Oh, let me listen to this. Okay, just stop. Just get a person a little bit ahead of you and just do what that person is saying. That's it.
true.
Make it
That,
simple.
that was a very wonderful tips and very true because when you look at other people's stuff, you're going to lose focus on your own stuff because you have to focus on your thing to get the results you want. And also, when you take advice from everywhere, you're literally going to be, you won't even know what's true or what's wrong. You're going to have to second guess yourself every now and then. And that's also a recipe for disaster. And very, very, very true. Once again, I want to say thank you very, very much for showing up. Thank you for deciding to share your valuable time with us and actually inform us and give us more value. And that's awesome. And thank you very, very much. I appreciate you showing up to the show. I don't know how much I can do to say thank you, but just thank you. All right.
So here's all mine. It was so good to be here. So good.
The pleasure is on me. All right. So far, this has been quite very, very valuable. I've learned a lot, and I guess so many people out there are also going to learn a lot from this. Once again, thanks for showing up, Usman. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward for us connecting some other time again in the future like this because I really did enjoy myself. I don't know about you, but I had a nice time with you on this call right now, and I appreciate that. All right, Usman. Thanks for showing up, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thanks for showing up to the call. And you just heard from Usman everything you need to actually get your business and get to success. Now, she showed us exactly how you can be able to work on your business, how you can be able to work on your mindset, and how you can put it all together to get the result you've always wanted. So you don't have to keep figuring it out, or you don't have to keep being in a sea of being stuck and wondering what is that, what can I be able to do, and how can I be able to get the result I want. All you have to do is come back to this interview, watch everything we've talked about today because these are the insider secrets. These are what you don't get every day, and this is what I'm going to be sharing with you every now and then and inviting more guests to come help you out with your marketing, to help you out with your results, your mindset, so that we can all grow together in this 2023 and make this year a legendary one for all of us out there.